Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature, and of course, yes, next weekend's two movies chosen by Sam Panico himself. Well, what are they, Sam?
Shock Treatment and The Apple, which are lives up to my promise. One movie that is a complete failure, both failures, but I think secret successes. So super, super exciting, and very. I have a lot to say about both movies. A lot to say, millions of things to say about The Apple, but I'll just as much to say about Shock Treatment, a movie that I feel is probably was 35 or 40 years ahead of its time and would be much better received today than it was at the time. Also having to deal with being the equal, not the sequel to Rocky Horror, as the tagline said. People were upset that, it's not Rocky Horror at all, but it's something else. It's in The Apples. Holy shit. If you never done Coke, but I imagine it's a lot like The Apple. Also more camel toe in that movie than any movie. It's, camel toe was born during the making of The Apple. So super excited about it. So please enjoy.
It looks like we lost Gene.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. His camera came back on, and I don't know, but there's no image and no audio. So, Gene, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if you're actually there or if this is a ghost Gene.
Ghost host Gene.
He just disappeared, so maybe it was a ghost Gene.
So yeah, Lorelei's Grasp is pretty great. I gotta tell you, second watch in a week. Love it even more this time. What the costumes, amazing. Someone had to make those little skulls on those bikinis,
Oh my god, yeah.
There's someone that did that, and I love every minute of it. I love that you have to get dressed to go into her world.
Yeah, they throw clothes at you.
Yeah.
It was a little jarring because there was that moment where you were like, "What is this? Is this taking place in present day, or why are they dressed like this?"
That's what I asked you. I'm like, "What is going on?" Like, I thought this was present day. The Lorelei herself, her motivations and powers are very all over the place. This movie is, as the kids say today, this movie fucks. Like, this movie is all about fucking. Like, it is really. Everybody in this movie is horny as fuck, and I'm here for it, and I love it. And like we talked near the end of the movie that if only the last 10 years of his life, the director mostly just painted pictures of the blind dead for collectors. I really wish he had seen Suspiria and the Beyond and like understood that maybe you can just embrace the fact that your movie does not need to make any sense whatsoever. He got real close with it here. I would argue he was already on that drug right here. But like, I think if this movie could have just could it be pushed even further and be more brain breaking, I would love to see it. Hey, there's Ghost Gene.
I was back like 3 fucking times. I hate this program. That's all I'm gonna say to you guys. I'm here. Be live.
You hate this program?
I hate this application. Be live.
I thought you meant you hated the Drive-In Asylum double feature.
Fuck. I fucking hate Be Live. It's welfare shit. All right, I'm back. So yeah, but I heard everything you guys said. Yeah, I mean it's so weird. Like, in her James Bond lair under the Rhine River. Fucking, what the fuck? It's like they're a theater troupe that just set this like random, like, throne up and they're doing a show under the river.
My challenge to everybody is next year for Halloween, be a group costume of this movie. You need 3 girls to wear skull bikinis. You need a beefy dude to be the henchman. You need a Lorelei before and after transformation, and you need a hunter wearing a Seinfeld shirt. If you go to a party dressed as that, you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. But I would love your costumes.
The 3 girls are so much like like the last movie, like the Leopard Women. I mean, it's like the same thing all over again. They have the best makeup. I don't know when they transform, they have great makeup. I don't know.
Yeah, I said to Bill, guess which one's my favorite? And he goes, well, the blonde with the green face. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah.
She had a unique look all her own.
Yeah. She really did. Yeah, I love it. I love this movie also. It's like, he's like, you know what? I didn't get enough like sapphic love interest stuff in the last movie. Let's get more of that in this one. Like, let's like kind of lesbian it up a little bit. And it is Euro horror. I mean, you know.
Elvis.
Of course, Steve Wilson. It is one horny movie because it was known in the States as the swinging monster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So any movie known as a swinging monster.
I love, you know what? The Swinging Monster is a title that does not describe the movie on the same way that Kill Baby Kill does not describe that movie. Do you know what I mean? They're both like, hey, these are like some titles for some.
It could be anything.
Like, yeah, Kill Baby Kill's like, I thought it was going to be like, you know, like a very blood and black lace kind of affair, like, you know, fashion and dancing. And no, it's in the 1700s. Fuck it.
Ursula Andress. She was such a ripoff of Ursula Andress. It's like she under the ocean.
Yeah, she's very she in this. Yeah,
or under the river.
There's a lot of funky music too in both these movies tonight. I think we got our fill of bongo drums and loops and stuff. It's pretty great. I'm gonna have great dreams tonight. I think everybody's gonna have wild dreams after watching.
I'm gonna have dreams of Helga Linné.
Oh,
is that how you say her last name, Linné?
Well, that's how I say it, and I'm not the
Lenny. Helga Lenny. Oh no.
This was a good furniture movie, Darren Kersey. You know, I was watching. I was flipping through channels, and The Godfather Part 2 was on this afternoon. And I was so into Michael's office. I was like, oh my God, look at that furniture.
Were you like, I'm going to watch this till Mariana shows up?
I looked for Mariana. It was past her part already. It was towards the end. But I love the interior of his office. It's gorgeous. Only furniture, though. His taste in knickknacks is just for shit. But the furniture, that guy could he could put some pieces together.
Amazing.
The print of this, it's the Shout Factory one that's on Tubi, was really good too.
Right.
It's a really pretty looking movie. Also, Bill and I were talking about it. How do these girls have such great hair? Like, they're not in situations, any of them, where it seems like anyone can do their hair. And
you're immortal. When you're an immortal being, you have perfect hair.
An immortal and you kill women with your claws, your hair gets perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
How is that possible, Gene? I mean, like, how could their hair be supernaturally done?
It's Italy. No, it's Spain.
What do you think that big beefy dude does when he's not guarding her? He's like, let's get out the VO5, and he does the
he's right. He's gay.
That would be so typical. Oh God, his vibes. Like, remember when the guy comes into the grotto, he climbs out of the water and he's all like mostly naked, and that guy walks over and throws clothes at him. He's like, put these on.
Yeah.
My lady's ready to meet you.
Yeah, in her Bond villain lair beneath the Rhine River.
You know? It was fabulous.
So ridiculous. The first time I saw this movie, I was like, you really leave reality behind once again in his movies where, where the hell are you at? It's like, what the hell is this? How did that exist? How does it exist underneath it there?
I love the accountant looking dudes that are waiting in the boat for him. And they're just like these totally like normal looking dudes. And he swims up. He's like, you would not believe what the fuck's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, please hand me that bomb so I can destroy it.
Yeah, she's down there. I think it's difficult to have to swim to the surface during the full moon every single month and kill all these people. That was one of my thoughts when I saw it. It's not a really convenient location, Lorelei. It's incredibly amazing, but there has to be a back way in somewhere in the marshlands or something. Like you were saying, it looks like the last movie.
The killings took place over 7 nights, apparently. So the full moon, it happens a lot more frequently there.
Oh, hell yeah. Right. Of course.
In the world of Don't go to school
Ridiculous.
in Europe. Like once you get
No,
done with high school, just be done. Just
there's bound to be a killer of supernatural or occult
or
background.
don't sleep with your English teacher, your teacher, and have an abortion. Like we've learned from what do you
Right.
call it? Like I've seen enough giallo about schools. Don't go on a holiday with all your friends when there's a killer using neckties. Like just don't go to school. You'll probably survive.
Don't go in the house.
Don't go in the house. Don't go in the basement.
Don't go in the cave.
Yeah.
Don't go to the grotto.
She'll get you down there. Yeah, with her amazing. I don't know. It was just crazy. You're right. It's crazy. So why wasn't there a killer bat in this movie? Shouldn't there have been a killer bat?
There should have been. I forgot about how great the bat when it shows up in Suspiria is, and it's just like
Right. Yeah.
a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then there was one in House by the Cemetery too.
There's one there, and Lizard in a Woman's Skin has a great
Right.
extended bat sequence that Bill looked at me during it and said, "I fucking love this movie. I love this movie," and I was like, "Yeah, it's wonderful."
That was at the drive-in.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw it.
Jaleo-Palooza. There's a rumor, behind the scenes rumor, there could be a Jaleo-Palooza too.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Listen, are you ready? Called Jaleo-Palooza Tuza.
Oh man.
I'm making that part up.
No, I'm really not.
So many requests. And I want young kids to sit through strip nude for your killer. That's really what I want. And play motel.
Okay.
And,
you know what? I'll ask him. I'll see what he says.
Well, this is what I did the other day. I was really bummed out after work, and I just watched Jalo trailers for 2 hours. And my wife said, "Who were you talking to down there?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just talking to myself," because I just kept yelling, "Oh, what have you done with?" Just screaming lines at the screen.
Don't hurt Solange.
Don't hurt Solange. What have you done with Solange?
Yeah, we've already started pulling titles for a little late night preview stuff here. We've already started pulling titles for April, but nothing is confirmed yet. The show could go like 3 different directions at this point in the game, so I think it depends on the negotiation with some of the possible celebrity guests. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
I'm on my 3rd Midori martini.
But the camping at the drive-in, I believe, is going up $5. So this year,
Dan Sitch, I noticed that same thing when the pearl necklace sank into the sand. It was like the monster from Blood Beach ate it.
Yeah,
that's my theory.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get sponsored, Bill, as you know, by Pedialyte. So
it was a subliminal way of saying that she disappeared back into natural soil.
But it didn't happen at the end of it. It happened like halfway through, and they were making out on the sand, and her beefy manservant came and took her from that. I guess he was in the grotto with her. I don't know where they were when that happened.
I have no idea.
Because the manservant took her back to the grotto. They were like in something that was on the shore there.
They have to
I like that the manservant's name is Beefy Manservant. That's my favorite thing.
What else would you call that guy?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I would call him.
He was some prime daddy beef.
That's ridiculous, really.
I like that there's a couple scenes of him just flexing. The guy just cuts to him.
Well, yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah, he's like the Bond villain bad guy.
For the ladies.
Former cult model. He was a cult model.
Right. No, he wasn't.
He had a brief porn career, solo only. And then he became the Lorelei's henchman.
Just J.O. scenes. That's all he did.
And it's where
henchman / hairdresser.
Ryan Murphy stole from this movie for the next season of American Horror Story.
I love the new season of American Horror Story.
Oh my god,
it's been so good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Did we live through that in real life? Why do we need to see it on the screen?
Well, I was too young for that.
I was in New York and back in the day. It was awful, really. So
I missed
Pittsburgh
that part.
Pittsburgh was kind of like that. I mean, there was stuff going on here like that, right?
I know there was stuff going on here. I was really interested in the Lorelai's motivations in this movie because who was she? Like, she had this curse where she had to eat a human heart when she was in her lizard form, but she was able to control herself because she didn't kill the man she loved. And I thought that was really interesting. Like, I thought maybe she was out of control when she was the Lorelai, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not like a werewolf.
No. I would say where he was going with this is it was based in his concept of sort of Norse kind of legend kind of thing. You know
Yeah,
what I
they kept
mean?
mentioning Valhalla.
Right, absolutely. That's very much where he was going with this. There's actually a Norse legend about a monster that eats hearts. I'm trying to look it up right now. So I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, I think that's where he was going more with this, the whole thing. So, Norse legend, Saxon legend. I'm trying to see it. Nope, I can't find it. And everything that keeps coming up is Fafnir. I don't know. I mean, it just that's what I thought he was trying to do with this. I thought he was trying to be more like a, especially with the design and everything. It was sort of a Viking kind of Nordic thing is what he was trying to do. But it's like his version of the Rhine, I guess, is his version of the Netherlands or something. He couldn't afford to film in Iceland, so they decided to have it there. The way that what's his name, Jess Franco, used to always show seagulls and say they were bats. Do you know what I mean? In his movies, and it would be like you'd hear these goofy noises, and then it would be seagulls, and they would say they were bats. It was absolutely ridiculous, but it's the way it was. No, I'm not finding anything here, but.
Well, I think it was just interesting that this movie did have some sort of mythology.
Oh yeah,
or
absolutely.
at least the appearance of it, even if it was just in the script. Like that was where he was coming from, and I just couldn't imagine sitting in a theater in 1979 watching this movie after you saw Alien, Prophecy,
right,
Phantasm, even. Like this movie was from a completely different era, and yet it was sold as if it was something new and something that had just been created in 1978, I guess, is when it debuted, is when the screaming stops.
Well, I think what you're saying is absolutely the truth, because it's the last place that you want to end up, that you would think you would end up in a movie like this is all of a sudden it's bathed in some sort of legend, and there's this incredible other story besides just a monster that kills people in a school. You wouldn't have had anything else in that time period that would have been that sort of fantasy oriented, right? I mean, that's exactly what you're saying. I mean, everything was Alien and Prophecy. In fact, it was so weird when I saw Prophecy first before I saw Alien. They were playing, I think, at the same time in two different theaters. Right. And my dad wouldn't take me to see Alien, but he took me to see Prophecy. And then I went with my friend's dad and him to see Alien like a week later. But I saw Prophecy first, but I remember driving past the other theater and going, shit, I wish I was in there instead. So Phantasmites, I saw, that didn't play very long, if I remember right. It was in and out. And then it ended up on HBO like not too long after. HBO screened Phantasm in September at like 1:30 in the morning for one viewing. They used to do that stuff back in the day. They would run a film.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they would run a film once, and then it would never appear again for another month. I did a thing, actually, while you guys were talking, I did a thing about that. Somebody I know, there's a website that collects all the old HBO guides from back in the 80s. And I found the information on there. I actually still have quite a few of those guides, believe it or not, to this day. And they were fun. They were little books that was maybe, 10, 15 pages with a lot of color
They were
shots.
little zines.
Yeah, and you know what? The shot for Halloween was what's her name? Was PJ on the bed.
It was Bob's ghost.
Bob's. Yeah,
It
no, it
was the
was. You're
ghost
right. You're right.
standing in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
doorway.
yeah. It was. It was. That's it. Exactly. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's what it was. I remember seeing it on
Oh,
there
I
for the first
remember. I
time.
was obsessed with it.
Oh, Halloween, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
used to plan on what I was going to watch because I would go to my dad's on the weekend, and my dad had HBO.
Yeah,
And
we
he went to
had it.
bed early, and he didn't care how late you stayed up or if you watched R-rated movies. So I knew what kind of shit I was going to get to watch. It was always like a movie like Halloween. I think they showed it on HBO in 79 or 1980.
What
Could have been.
Halloween was, I can't remember. I have that.
It's
I
probably
tracked
80.
I tracked that down too. It was a Sunday night, actually.
I didn't become aware of Halloween really until 79 anyway, because no one talked about it until 79. So it was probably 1980 by the
Okay,
time.
so Phantasm ran on September the 5th at 1:15 in the morning. You guys probably can't see this. It's really hard to get these to show up. Look at that.
I can see it.
See?
Wow.
And that's what the guide looked like. The guy was I don't know what movie that is. It looks like Sherman Hemsley. It's obviously not him, but there it was. And it was the first week after school had started, and I had a slumber party to watch the movie. I was one of the few people that had HBO. My friends didn't. And we ended up staying up and watching it. And it was at 1:15, and nobody was disappointed. It was something you talked about. And then it came back like the next month and played on a regular basis on there. But it was the same with Halloween premiered, and Halloween was on a Sunday night, I'm pretty sure, at 8 o'clock. I'm shrouded in black. Yes, I am shrouded in black because this shit ass program hates me. Be Live hates me.
I forget. Did you have HBO, Sam, when you were young?
No, we didn't.
I'm in the Phantom Zone.
Forgive.
You
No,
will down bound before me one day, you and your heirs. We thought he said ass for decades, and it was heirs. It's a little stupid joke for you. But, yeah, did you have HBO back in the day or no?
My grandparents did, so we would go there to watch movies.
No, we had it.
And
My
we watched
dad.
The Car a lot.
What was that? The Car.
The Car.
That's all we watched for like a year. We watched The Car.
Yeah, we had HBO. We got it pretty early on.
I think that was on HBO in 78 because it was like 1978. I watched it a couple times. My grandparents had it, and I watched The Car and Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane also.
That was the first time I saw that movie was around this time of year, I think. And I don't know. I remember, didn't ABC air that and edit the hell out of it too?
I don't think it was on network TV until 1981.
Yeah, it was on 1981.
I think in 81, I think, is when ABC aired it.
Right.
Let's Scare Jessica to Death wasn't on network TV until like 77, I think. They ran it.
CBS late night movie. They always ran a promo for that Friday night. Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
I lived for those moments. Mako, Jaws of Death, Beware the Blob. That's all stuff I saw in the CBS late movie. The Night Stalker reruns.
Right. Yeah, they ran a lot of stuff on. Things got kind of weird on the CBS late night movie, and they showed the new Avengers was on during the summer, which was also kind of weird. It's like, and they ran Barney Miller and Alice on.
What was up with that?
Or they ran Alice. It wasn't Barney Miller because that was ABC. It was Alice. They used to run Alice on for a while. I forgot about that. And George and I were talking one night, and he's like, "Do you remember when they reran Alice and there was something else that they ran in there that was maybe Barnaby Jones or something? I don't know what it was. It was
Cloud was on there and McMillan and Wife.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched all of them.
What the hell? Why? What was that about? Alice.
Not Columbo. What was the other? The one where it was McCloud.
McLeod.
They're in
Yeah,
McLeod.
with the searchlights at the beginning.
Dennis Weaver.
Yeah, good old Dennis Weaver, star of Terror on the Beach. There's a rare one you
Oh
want to
yeah,
show. You guys should
Susan
show that.
Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Total Susan Day Partridge Family vibes.
With Looker, you can run Looker.
I love Looker.
Yeah, it's good, right? I saw that in the theater. Actually, it came out right around Halloween, and I saw Looker in the theater. I don't know. Was it out the same year? The same. It wasn't out the same year as Prince of Darkness. That was a lot later, but that was another
No,
movie I
Looker
saw.
was 81.
Yeah, I saw Looker around Halloween in 81, and I saw Prince of Darkness. That was what, 87, or when was that? 86? I can't remember.
I think 86.
It was on Halloween, and it was such a great comeback for John Carpenter. It's absolutely one of his. There's not enough people out there that know about that movie and appreciate it. It's really amazing. I mean, it's classic. It fits right up there with The Fog and with the first Halloween movie. It really does. I mean, he did a fantastic job with that. It has all the elements of a John Carpenter film. And there's always a guy with a big mustache, and there's like a gay porn thing going on with John Carpenter. You know, it's like he has to put some type of like guy in. They couldn't get what's his name from Pittsburgh, so they got that other guy that kind of looked like what's his name, Tom Atkins. He was like the Tom Atkins double, you know, for that movie. That's a good question to ask Tom Atkins. Were you considered for the role of the lead character in Prince of Darkness, because the guy ironically looks a lot like you, right? You know, he looked a little bit like William Hurt. I can't remember the actor's name, but great film, fantastic movie.
I kind of thought, to get back to the Lorelei's Grasp, I kind of thought it had some Hammer film vibes going on with it. And I like that. It wasn't as, I think, Gene, you mentioned, it didn't have the production values of a Hammer film even, but it was, you know, Hammer had their thing together. They had their look, and they did it so many times. They got really good at it. This movie just seemed like it was kind of finding its way towards a Hammer sort of look. And I think they did a good job in that regard, especially with that set that they had of the grotto. That was pretty genius.
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, you were talking about like the scenes out in the garden and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, there was always a sort of female and male character in every Hammer movie that kind of looked like the two of them. And of course, like I said, when we were on break, or maybe I said it live, she with Ursula Andress. I mean, this actress reminded me of Ursula Andress the entire time I was watching her. It's like they couldn't afford Ursula, so they got this actress instead. But I mean, you know, he's a good director. People may think it's just cheesy garbage, but I love Armando Desorio. I think his work is incredible. You know, and he died not too long ago. He died while I had discovered the movies. Wasn't it in the mid 2000s that he passed away? I think, because I think I was already buying his films when it came up on the internet that he had passed away. So he was around till pretty much recently, you know.
Sam, what do you think of the Lorelei's Grasp?
Love it. Steve described it really well. It's gothic and Giallo kind of mixed together.
Right.
You have Giallo from the school, and it's a little bit of Crimini too with the setting in the school. So I dig it.
Yeah, I can see that totally. Sure.
Yeah, and I really like it. It looks great too. It's got gorgeous. Everybody in the cast, outside of the guys in the boat, but almost everybody in the cast is pretty gorgeous, and everybody wants to have sex or die or kill. It's great.
Yeah, it's that age old belief that if you fuck, you die. I mean, that's like the theme in so many of those movies from the 70s and 80s, is that, you know, that sex will kill you. You know, it's an inevitable thing that you will be cursed and you will be. Yeah, even in Halloween, wasn't that prevalent in Halloween? You screw in Halloween and you get murdered, you know?
It did have that in common with contemporary films.
Or you think about it and you get killed, you know? You can't even go out to your car without being murdered in Halloween. So.
Don't wear the wrong color Michael Myers mask. You'll get killed
too.
Second.
Yeah, that's absolutely. In the second movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
We're the worst scene in what Donald Pleasance, he's English obviously, and he's a pretty good actor. I always thought anyway, classically trained. And when he says Sam Hain, my blood still boils to this day. It's like how the fuck did you get this wrong?
It was
Really,
in the
how would
script.
I know, but that's so bad. It's so bad. And then it's a lie. He's the Lord of. It's like Sam Haines is a ritual for the Lord of the Dead. It fucking is not. Absolutely not. It's an embarrassment. It's the beginning of the cycle of the horned god of winter is what it is. So if you're a pagan, man, that's a cut. It's like having Jesus Christ as a murderer or something. It's not reality.
It's
But
creative license.
it really is, but it's so inaccurate. And people were not burned on Samhain and burned, and they ripped off the Wicker Man. That was the other thing that infuriated me. They're like, they put them in cages and they burned them to see the future. No, they didn't. That didn't happen. I mean, it's like that idiot director that did that movie Midsummer, which a lot of you probably like. That film is an absolute embarrassment. If I was the country of Sweden, I would sue them. I hate that movie. It's totally awful. But whatever.
Sam,
Yes.
what do you got?
What would you like?
I heard you got something in the mail this
Oh
week.
yeah, you
and
want to see what
really-
came in this week?
We look like
Yeah,
why
I
do
did.
we look like a Valentine, Bill? What is this shit?
Here's
I
what
was
came
just
in.
looking for a different overlay.
It's
Some of
late.
these I
We're
bought,
all
too.
we're all high.
This is a documentary about graffiti artists. Can't be stopped. It's from MVD. Very nice thing to see. Blood and Diamonds. This is the new 88 Films release of it for their Italian horror collection. Pretty nice packaging.
Ari Aster sucks.
Look at this. Amityville Thanksgiving.
Oh my god, yeah.
Followed by Ghosts of Amityville. So some more Amityville movies for me. These all come to me. But I'm going to save the best for last. The one I was
Okay.
teasing you. This is Panther, a movie about the Black Panthers. That's from MVD. There's a little tiny store I've talked about it before in my hometown. And I got a bunch of stuff. I got the Magnificent Seven box set. I didn't have this. Why didn't I have this? But look at this. In my little hometown, why would there be a El Topo there?
Oh my god.
Right?
How could that happen? In the wild.
A dollar copy of it. Finally, the lady's like, what is that El Topo? And I was like,
How do you explain that?
Yeah, and finally, Bill, this is a remake. Are you ready for this?
Is this the big reveal?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a remake.
I've never seen
based on
it.
the Nick Millard characters. This just came out.
I've never seen it, but doesn't it have a lot of footage from the original film in it?
I don't know. It's based on Criminal Insane, though. It's from Brian Dorton, who made Theater of the Deranged, Trashology, and the Horror Network. Mike Justice said to me he's very much a John Waters-y kind of director. So I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited that someone would think to remake Criminally Insane now. So Wild Eye put this out. So pretty
naturally.
Rad. Yeah. So pretty exciting. There you go.
Wild Eye releasing.
And I saw that Vince said 5/25/77 is coming to DVD. Yeah, MVD is putting that out too. So a lot of cool stuff.
Have you ever seen the other cheap sequels that they made? The nurse ones. What was it called? Death Nurse or something?
Death Nurse.
Death Nurse 1
I
and 2,
have those. If you guys ever want to see them, I guess they're kind of rare.
Have the SOV ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because who was the guy that directed that movie?
Nick Millard?
Yeah, I think I met him on eBay years ago. Because I had a copy of a clamshell copy of that movie, which I was selling, and I had it up for sale because I had multiple copies of it. It's a long story that I obtained, and he messaged me and wanted me to pull the auction because he was the rights owner, and he wanted to pay me for that copy. You know, I got a very, it wasn't a cease and desist. It was a very nice letter. He's like, you know, I can prove it to you. I'm the copyright owner for that. I've never seen that version of that. And, you know, would you be willing to pull it and sell it to me? And of course I did, but that was just really weird. You know, it was like, wow, talk about out of
He
nowhere.
just wanted it for himself.
I guess he did. I didn't, you know what? I didn't care. It's like I got paid for it. And
I get it. Yeah.
and eBay didn't,
and
eBay didn't get any money. Goddamn awful. I mean, eBay's gotten so bad now. I haven't sold on eBay in years, but I hear it's awful. The fees are just.
I left them a couple of years ago.
The fees are terrible, right? Is what I've been told.
Well, no, I left because they kept going in and changing my auction. Like I used to sell Driving Asylum on eBay.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard.
I used to sell Driving Asylum on eBay, and I sell it for $5. Like I think it's worth $5.
Right.
And I don't want to take less than $5 for it because then I'm going to like start losing money on it. So
sure.
They ended up, they would go in there and they would change it to like where a buyer could make an offer for it. And I couldn't figure out why I kept getting these offers. I'm like, I know I chose no offers, just a buy it now option. And then I finally got an answer from their IT or whatever, their customer service. And they said, yeah, we went in and changed your auction. I was like, okay, well then I'm never going to sell anything with you again.
Well, they were driving up the cost of like, I mean, if any of you guys have ever sold on there, you know, you used to be able to just go throw it on and do what you wanted. And all of a sudden, it was the Wild West. All of a sudden there were these asshole tutorials saying, we suggest that you raise it to this price and you add this amount of shipping. And it's like, dude, you know what? That you're taking a cut of that shipping or whatever, and that's why you want it raised. And that's not fair at all. You know, to me, that's just not fair. I mean, they make enough money off of a small amount that they would get from each auction to actually feel the need to nanny the amount of like the cost. I mean, that doesn't sell well for you, right? You know, especially when you unfairly have to offer somebody twice the shipping price. You know, like when we do, I'm not sure about your pricing. I've never really looked your pricing. I know with ours for like the drive-in, when we do the t-shirts, we do like a flat rate $7-8 for the shipping. And if people buy extra large shirts and stuff, it comes like maybe 10, 11, 12. But I mean, we'll take the loss on that. We don't care. You know, we're trying to offer a service to people that's a reasonable shipping price, and we're not looking to make money back off of it. But you can always tell when you meet somebody, whether it's private or eBay, that they want that extra cash for that shipping, and it's ridiculous. You know, I got an argument one time. One guy said, well, it's my time, it's what I'm charging for my time. I'm like, dude, you drive to a fucking post office, you know. Who gets paid to do that? It's part of the commitment to selling.
When's the next drive-in event?
April. It's April. The last.
Do you know the dates? I mean,
I don't know. You pull up a calendar. It's that last April. Last date in April. What is it? 24, 25, or hold on. Let me look.
We haven't actually mentioned on the program tonight that Gene does promotion for the Super Drive-In Monsterama. It's a biannual event.
Yeah,
at the Riverside Drive-In.
I do all the marketing and advertising. Actually, 28, 29 is when it is. I mean, I guess it's really a partnership. I mean, George and I, we don't look at it that way, but we really do. I mean, we do meetings. We have meetings like a lot of Monday nights at 7:00. It's really strange, and we end up talking more about what's on Three's Company that night because George is at work and I'm home. And we're watching Antenna TV, and we're always watching Three's Company. So he actually sent me a Three's Company T-shirt. I came home from work one day, and there was a package on my porch, and here he had bought me a Three's Company shirt. We're talking about a lot of different movies for April, as I was saying earlier. It's going to be an 80s theme again. We just don't know which direction we're going yet.
April is your April Ghouls event,
correct,
which tends to be more based in the 1980s.
Right. And I met an actress a couple of months ago. I can't mention names, and she was someone I didn't expect to click with, and I clicked with her like you cannot believe. And spent it was an event that I do here in Pittsburgh. If you know me, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not mentioning again. And she immediately came right out when I mentioned the show and said I would love to do that, and I'm available that weekend. But The question is, are we going to commit to showing that movie that weekend? And, and things change between now and then so fast. And, like we had Camille Keaton for the Palooza and she like broke her foot. It's like, you don't know.
That's beyond her control.
I know, but I'm just saying that you don't know what's going to happen with somebody, And what are you going to do? Is that a knock at your door?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounded like it.
Someone's knocking at your door.
Was it my door?
It's not mine.
No, it's mine.
That's weird.
Sam, what's coming up on bnsaboutmovies.com this week?
We're in the middle of a whole month of Mill Creek box set month. And I have some guest writers coming up. Sean Collier's writing something this week.
Yeah.
So really excited. Yeah. So we got a lot of different folks, and
I love Sean Collier.
Yeah, he's awesome. He does want to come back and do the show again, so that'll be exciting when it happens. And then a lot of catching up on all the Blu-rays, these ones that I've been showing on the show, finally reviewing them. So because I was away from home for a couple weeks. So I'll be working on that and getting ready for December, Bill, because December will have some cool stuff too. I'm going to look and see what December is so far. Bad sequels, disaster movies, and movies made in Pittsburgh. That's
on here or what you do?
On what I do.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah,
Sam's website is bnsaboutmovies.com.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Or Bands About Movies. Also, we have. Do you want to say about the interview that we're doing for Driver?
I would love to, if you think it's appropriate. Yes,
I think it is. Yeah. So, pretty exciting. I got an email from the director of Deathbed, The Bed It Eats, George Barry, who really liked what I wrote about it and said, I'd love to talk to you about the movie sometime. So we spent about 2 hours last Saturday talking about Deathbed, and I'm going to do another hour probably this week and finish it up. So
wow, awesome!
That's a new issue. So
that's
super
a fun
nice
movie.
Yeah, and my favorite thing he told me during the interview is he said, I made too normal of a movie. I really wish I'd made it more fucked up. It makes too much sense. And I was like, I 100% agree with you. He's like, yeah, it should have just been an absolute movie and not had any narrative. And I was like, oh my God, that's my dream. So yeah, we hit it off really well. He's a really funny guy and just had a lot of stories about. We really went into detail about the Garwood mansion where a lot of it was set and the history of it. And they actually thought he was shooting an adult film there as a teaser for what comes out, and that's why they allowed him to shoot it, because the owners were trying to get the place cited as a police nuisance so they could sell it for cheaper. So that's why they let him shoot inside it.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura. Laura said she's happy I was here tonight. Thanks, Bill and Sam.
Oh, sure.
Bill texted me earlier in the week and he's like, we're showing these. And I was like, okay, I'll be on. It was like, I was like, yeah, I love these movies. I have a passion for Armando de Soria.
These are two of your favorite movies.
They are two of my favorite movies. Absolutely.
Here's a teaser, a look at the cover for the new issue. This is my mock-up.
Wow.
And
that's a little thrill kill cult look in there, Bill. I think it does. I think it looks like a Buzz McCoy cover.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So hopefully I'll be able to make this happen by December 22, huh? It's been a long time coming.
I have a whole interview to transcribe, so yeah, that's what I'm working on.
I have two.
But, yeah,
3.
But I'm really excited, and I'm excited to talk to him again. It was like literally I was cutting grass, took a break, talked to him for 2 hours, went out and cut grass again. It was a pretty crazy day, but it was like a dream come true. Like I had so many questions about that movie, and to actually directly find out why things are the way they are in that movie is like, I really don't know anything else I'd rather be doing. That's why I love writing about movies. So
that's highly rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah, and just to be like, what was the set like? What was the conditions you were there shooting like? What movies were you into? And also a lot, we went really into detail about Detroit era horror movie hosts too, which will
Wow.
be in it. And one of them was almost in the movie too. So kind of
Oh,
like, yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, he definitely is a big lover of horror movies. He didn't just make a horror movie, to make money. That was the easiest way to make money. So he said, maybe I probably should have made porn, but he goes, then we wouldn't be talking about that movie today, would we? It's like it would have just been a regular skin movie instead of like something really weird that you saw. And also, I'm sure everybody knows the story of how he didn't know it had ever been released on VHS until 2005, which it still blows my mind. But yeah,
Wow, really? That late?
yeah, it got
I
stolen.
have a Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray of that film.
He's on the Blu-ray. He's actually sending me the Blu-ray because he has some extras. But
Yeah,
he said that
I have it.
he took it in 79, 80 to, he was going to get it duplicated and titles put on it. Didn't have enough money to get titles put on it. The company he took it to look at actually took it and bootlegged it and put it out all over his Portland video, all over the world. And one of the people that bootlegged it in the U.S. was Alain, the guy who produced a lot of Jess Franco movies, which was my favorite part of the interview. He goes, "Do you know who Jesus Franco is?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard of him."
I can't imagine somebody saying that to you with a straight
I know.
face.
And I was like, "Yeah." He's,
No,
"Do you like
it's-
his movies?" And I said, "Yeah, they're fucking great." He goes, "They're really weird." I'm like, "Yeah, they are." So he said that also he brought up that he had a lot of people compared Deathbed to Jean Rollin, and he had never.
Oh
saw
yeah,
it.
yes. I was just about to say
And he
that.
said it was a complete
Wow.
accident. And when he saw those movies, he was like, "Wow, we really got close to the same movies." So it was
Yeah.
it's a very fun conversation of just basically talking movies. I'm trying to figure out how to put it together, but it's exciting. So my other interview I'm putting together now is the guys from Found Footage Festival. I got to interview them. They're going to be in Slippery Rock if you're in the area on Friday night, and they actually have a new horror host show on their YouTube channel, which is really good. But yeah, I interviewed Joe from there, and it was awesome because it's someone else whose work that I like super look up to, and got to get deep into like video mixtapes and pre-internet viral footage, which is a big obsession of mine. So that I'm pretty excited about
Wow.
that.
Good.
Yeah, because I love that era where it was like, it's nice now that we can find anything, but I often talk about it where it's like, to find stuff like, not just like Budweiser stuff, but like, just crazy stuff that aired once on TV and someone had a copy of it. Knowing people and trading and finding stuff is really something lost. So it's really fun to talk to those guys. I gave them my tape of Date Night TV from Channel 11, which is all the episodes of Date Night TV, as well as my favorite YouTube channel now, Pittsburgh Toilets, which is a guy that just goes to toilets in Pittsburgh and films video and discusses how the toilets work. It's an obsession of mine to watch this guy's channel. Yeah, there's two different ones. There's also Pittsburgh Classic Toilets.
He's talking about, I mean, okay, so the people out there that aren't from Pittsburgh, are we talking about the mill worker toilets that were always in the basement?
No, not just
okay.
Pittsburgh toilets, but like he goes to like office buildings, malls, like anywhere there's famous places, and uses the toilets. He has a stopwatch to see how long they flush. He discusses what model they are, how far they are from the ground. It has to be like some kind of
okay, he's on the spectrum.
It's either on the spectrum or it's a fetish. It's pretty wild.
I'm leaning more towards fetish.
Yeah, I 100% am. And there's some of them where he's like really angry about how bad of a toilet it is. And they were like, "Oh my God, this is perfect." So I'm going to check and see how long they're out here, because we discussed maybe going to the Wizard of Oz video store in Brownsville, which is still open and very frightening. So I'm kind of afraid to go back there. But if they want to go, I'm going to take them. So,
well, the thing with, and again, I was saying, what is the Pittsburgh toilet? Well, a lot of the houses had toilets in the basement in Pittsburgh because the mill workers would come home dirty and they would go directly to that bathroom and take their clothes off or whatever before they went upstairs. and basement toilets were a thing in Pittsburgh. I didn't know that it was a thing. You know what I mean? I suppose I could say even Cleveland or any of the other cities, Philadelphia, or maybe that were industrial themed
They had
cities.
to have
But
them too.
sure, but then we always talk about it in Pittsburgh as a Pittsburgh toilet, and they're creepy. Like my next door neighbor has one, and you go to the basement, and over in the corner of the room, it's like literally like it was a room that was like cheaply made, like walled off.
Well, yeah, later they built walls around them.
Yeah, it was, but originally it was just a toilet that was open that you sat down and took a shit right in the basement.
I have
right
one in my basement, so I mean, I had one in my old basement too, my old last house, and I've just always been used to having it. My favorite is when you go to someone's house and they literally have a urinal.
They're fucking cold. They're cold in the winter, and I don't know. Yeah. I have a weird. I've been to their house for parties and stuff, and used that bathroom, and it's been remodeled now, and they put like a shower and stuff, but it's still creepy. It's like it feels weird for some reason, like it's too cold or something to be down
Sam,
there.
Who do you know that has a urinal in their house?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
The one band I was in, the drummer had a urinal.
What the fuck?
House. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I would love to have a urinal in my house.
As they say in Pittsburgh, get out of here.
Yeah. Yep. It was pretty wild. I was always like, I'd always want to use it because I'm like, that's awesome that you got a urinal in your house.
It's convenient for the dogs and cats.
That's class.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to Frank Palvino, who sent us a nice tip earlier. That was really nice of you, Frank. We appreciate it, and you helped to keep our Be Live fees.
Mike Justice says, if you could read what Mike said, who hasn't been there,
I sometimes use my sink as a urinal.
I got married, and that doesn't happen anymore.
We're not supposed to talk about that, are we, Mike? Right?
Yeah.
Especially on certain nights, it's like my bathroom is small enough you can shit and vomit at the same time.
I'm glad you told me that, Mike. So now I know when I do the dishes at your house, I should scrub the sink first.
Oh my God, unbelievable! Yeah. That's crazy, guys.
Yeah, if Mike ever stays at your house, maybe clean the sink after he leaves.
I don't know. I think it's ours is too tall.
At least run the hot water, right?
I mean, whatever. Yeah.
How low is that sink? That's what I'm wondering. Do you have
I know somebody in college that he said the same thing. It came out one night under the influence. He's like, I piss on my parents' sink all the time, and I remember it smelled horrible when you would go.
Oh, yeah.
And I never said anything about it, but I guess he would get drunk and just piss in the sink, or he was.
That is not a victimless crime.
Plus, you know what else? He would sneak in late at night, or when his parents knew he was up, and I think that's why he always peed in the sink. That's so gross. I mean, it's like run the hot water, dude. Put some detergent down there if you're gonna do that. At least
just go outside.
Wonder why your dad keeps getting eye infections.
Well, you know what? I dated a girl for like 4 years in college, and I wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom in her house, so. I guess that makes sense.
You never wanted to go to the bathroom in her house.
I wasn't allowed to. Her parents didn't allow me to.
What the fuck is a guy?
Here's something that drives me crazy.
Get out of here.
I didn't know how to treat a toilet. Yeah.
This drives me crazy. Peeing in the shower. I never pee in the shower.
Oh, I do. I do.
Never peed in the shower.
I do, and I don't do it alone.
It's gross. Well, if it's a special occasion, who cares? But I mean, like every day peeing in the shower.
If I gotta go, I gotta go. I mean, think about it. I mean, you're in a shower. Why is that like a thing?
Because eventually, you're gonna your drain is gonna.
Dude, hot water and soap. Who cares, right?
Well, yeah, you gotta make sure you're cleaning the shower constantly. If
absolutely right. You gotta go. I'm not gonna get out. I know someone that does that. They get out and like actually pee and get back in the shower. I knew someone that did that.
That would be me.
Yeah.
No way.
Gene, it's been wonderful having you on the program tonight. Thank you.
I'm glad it ended on such a personal note.
I mean, so am I.
And what about next weekend, Sam?
Next weekend, we got 2 great movies. We got The Apple and Shock Treatment, and Come and Sing.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Chris. It's always good. Go ahead.
Be prepared to sing and dance next week. I'm looking on the Roku Screen Picks channel now for something to watch. It's probably going to be Daughters of Satan. Because I can't watch Avenging Force again. I've seen it too many times.
I don't
Go
understand how you're going to go watch more movies after this. I'm going to bed.
I'm probably going to put this on and go to bed. I do have to say, I've been trying to go to bed before midnight during the week, which is real hard. It's rough. It's my I'm on a health kick, well, because I have to be, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Thanks for this ringing endorsement. Great movies.
They are 100% great movies. I love both of these movies, and I will defend. I will prepare my defense next week of both of these movies. Becca also is excited about the Apple being on. I'm sure she has a lot to say about it. If you ever come to our house generally and you've never watched a movie with us, generally the Apple is one of the first ones we make you watch. And if you can't handle it, it's like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls and the Apple are two like torture test movies. People are like, this movie seems weird. I'm like, get the fuck out. You can't watch movies.
Don't ever come back.
Don't come back. Or you know what? We won't show you anything because we kind of realize it's like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we'll just not watch TV with you. That's fine.
John says it's been a truly great third segment, and I agree. And we hope you'll come back next weekend and all of us and watch the Drive-In Asylum double feature. We'll see you then.
See you guys.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.